Okay, so the first thing we're going to do today is to finish off our cross picture from yesterday. Now, like I said, sometimes things go right, sometimes things go wrong. I'm going to show you one that went wrong. This was one that I did when it was too wet. I didn't wait for it to dry and the mess went everywhere. I'm hoping today, because this one has dried nicely on the radiator, quite a lot of the salt has fallen off it, but I'm hoping that this is going to work. And what you're going to need is your little pots of paint from the first day, and your water and a brush. And what we're going to do is just going to try getting a bit of watery paint on there, and then we're just going to dab it onto the salt, and we should be able to see the paint being absorbed into the salt. And it stands out really well against the black. So I could do that with a few colours. You could mix some more colours if you wanted. Remember, if you're sharing paints, to share nicely. Maybe I'll do some blue and then some yellow. And where it touches each other, it will start to go green, won't it? I'm quite pleased with that. I'm going to try and keep it flat because the paint still needs to dry. But when that's dried off, I think that's actually going to look quite good. Today's activity is quite a big and exciting one, and we're going to make something that you can hang up in your bedroom or your lounge to remind you about the Holy Spirit. And this is a dove hanger. And the reason that we are doing a dove hanger to remind us for the Holy Spirit is that the Holy Spirit is invisible. It lives inside us, and in the Bible, it talks about it sometimes as being, it came when the Holy Spirit came down to see Jesus when he was baptised, it came down like a dove. When the disciples first received the Holy Spirit, that's after Jesus was killed and the Holy Spirit arrives in a locked room, it felt like a wind or tongue, and they were described as having something like tongues of flame coming out of their heads. So the Holy Spirit is like flames, like a wind, like a dove, but it isn't any of those things. But because we like something to remind us that we understand, we decided to do doves today. So in a moment, I'm going to tell you everything you need to collect to make this, and then I hope that you have a lot of fun making it and looking at it afterwards. Here we are, ready to make our big make for day 4, and we need to gather everything together first of all. So you're going to need to find a tube like this. You're going to need to find the bag that says day 4, and in it you'll find some ribbons, some birds and some wings, a few feathers, some small birds, a long strip of paper, and these, which are very important, 3 glue dots, and I'll tell you how to use those in a moment. And also you're going to need to find your glue and your glue spreader. And our first job is going to be to make the top of the hanger. So we're going to take the lid off, we're going to find our longest piece of ribbon. You might have to roll it up, and we're going to feed it through these holes. And then we're going to tie it in a knot or a bow, but it's important to use the longest piece. Tie mine in a knot like that, and then to make it nice and neat on the top, we're going to put the lid back on again. So that's going to hang like that. And next we're going to think about our ribbons, and they're going to hang off the bottom and our birds are going to hang off them. So spend a little bit of time with your birds, working out how you're going to stick them, because you want to stick them so they look good on both sides. And which wings are you going to use? Not that one, I don't think. Probably going to use that one, and maybe I'll have a blue one that side. Okay, so you want to make sure for each bird that they can be stuck together. Okay, and on the wings you will find a little tiny bit of sticky tape. It's double-sided sticky tape, so if you get your fingernail under it and pull it off carefully, it sticks. And then the really cool thing is that obviously, once you've worked out which way round your birds are going and which way round your wings are going, you should be able to stick a wing on your bird like that. Okay, and then this is where the glue dot comes in, because the glue dots are actually quite strong. You've got 3, 1 for each bird. Now before I do anything else with this bird, I'm going to stick the ribbon on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. I'm going to peel it off, get a little clear glue dot. I'm going to push it into the middle of my bird really, really hard, and then carefully peel this off. This is going to be strong enough to hold my ribbon. So then I'm going to get my ribbon and I'm going to put it onto my bird. But that looks messy and lopsided, so what we're going to do next is to stick another bird over the top, like this, and for that we're just going to use our glue. We might have to leave it to dry for a little bit, and you're going to need to do this 3 times if you want 3 birds hanging. Got glue on there now. I'm going to push my bird onto here so that it all lines up. I think I will decide in a moment. I'll probably put that wing on it, I think. I'll do that in a moment. We're going to leave that to dry, and you're going to do 3 like this, okay? And when you've got 3 like this, we're going to come back and I'll show you the next stage. Okay, so here we are ready for our next stage. I've now got 3 birds. And what I'm going to do now is, can you see around the bottom of your tin, there's another piece of double-sided tape. So it's another carefully peeling it off, and now it's nice and sticky. Now you might need some scissors now for doing a bit of adjusting. I'm going to start off with my shortest bird first, and I'm going to stick that on. So it's hanging, and oh yes, that one's quite a lot longer. That's hanging quite nicely underneath it. And what about this one? I'll put this one around this side. I'm going to make that one. I'm going to stick that one on quite a bit shorter, I think, so that it's above this other one. And I'll just cut off this extra bit there. Now, we can't really leave it like that because this is all sticky. So this is where this little handy strip of paper is going to come in. And all we're going to do is wrap that bit of paper around the sticky tape. It should be just about the right length. You might need a tiny little bit to snip off. So now we have got this hanger. It's got 3 doves hanging off it. And then the final stage is just to decorate it using glue with our last few bits and pieces. Some feathers. You could draw on it if you wanted to as well. And just use your creativity. Well, sadly, this is the end of our WOW Holiday Club for this half term. But it's not completely the end, because on Sunday for our family Zoom service, hopefully we're going to be looking at some of your pictures and involving some of you in telling the whole story that we learned this week. So really look forward to seeing you then. Join us at 9:15 for a chat to each other about the things you've done during the week, for a prompt start at 9:30. And next February half term, I really hope we're going to be in the building, sharing with each other, playing games together, eating together, and it's going to be so different, hopefully, to how it has been this year. And as we go out now into the rest of half term, which I hope you very much enjoy, I just wanted to share and speak over you the words of a very ancient blessing that God told his priests to speak over the people right back in the very beginning of his story. And it comes from Numbers chapter 6, verses 24 to 26. May the Lord bless and keep you. May the Lord smile down on you and show you his kindness. May the Lord answer your prayers and give you peace. And I really hope that those things become real in your lives as you go forward, that the Lord smile on you, that he bless you, and that you know his peace. And if you're wondering what you could do to share everything you've learnt, we talked today about sharing. When you've finished reading your book, maybe you could give it to another family, to one of your friends, to some cousins, who knows? But don't forget to share the joy and the peace that we have in Jesus. Bye.